Hey, how you doing, viewer? Hope you're doing all right. Um, Congested today, not feeling too good, but I wanted to do this video for people that care about it. Video content creators struggle behind the curtains. They really do, and I wanted to do this video because I can relate to it. You guys can relate to it. Rather, if you make videos or you work and you deal with friends and family, there's things behind doors that I'm sure you just battle with. TV Maxwell was on my mind today. TV Maxwell is doing great, making videos about films and his thoughts, reviews, perspectives, fantastic stuff. He lost interest in making what he used to make, and that's totally fine. But I remember and I want to be careful because this stuff is not there on his channel anymore, but he was uploading about struggles. A lot of struggles, trying to figure out what was going on in his life, and he would vent and share his perspective, ideas, and it reminded me of myself because I was dealing with so many things as well. So many things in 2023 and 24 and now 25. It's been 3 years of figuring things out, what's wrong with my body, just like TV Maxwell was dealing with. And I still made videos, I still did my thing on YouTube, I still socialized with friends and family. And if this is relatable, leave a comment and share a little bit about your thing because it does help. When I saw TV Maxwell struggle, I wasn't happy he was, but I felt less alone. Another person would be Drifter, a Call of Duty commentator. There are a lot of people that made videos and talked about what they're going through in the moment of going through it and figuring things out. And I think those videos really healthy for us. A lot of people, Drifter's an example, people like make fun of him. They have like a gag, a joke, and some people, you know, straight up just bully. But a joke is a joke, and it's with friendly humor. It's fun. It's like laughing at the struggle to make it less powerful in the mind and stuff. But a lot of people, um, you know, take it too far on the internet too, as these content creators share their stuff. I'm sorry if I'm doing a terrible job here, viewer. I'm struggling still today. It's tough. 1 second. I'm stuffy and shit. Um, so in life, like obviously you have the things that you do to maintain yourself from drowning in whatever you're going through, right? And the things that I have done is working out, riding my bike, and I force myself to socialize and stuff, but in the end of the day, sometimes, I just need solitude. I need to heal. I need to recover. Sometimes I'm just in a lot of pain emotionally. An example would be like 3 months apart, I had two people on each side commit suicide. And I remember when, my childhood friend did that in October. I didn't find out until November. And he's a brother to me. And I remember with everything I already went through in 2022 and 23 and 24, this was last year in October, um, it hit me so hard that I overdosed on accident taking a steroid. I just didn't even read the instructions correctly. So I fucked up my liver. So 3 months later, then my cousin committed suicide. And I remember I have this thing where if someone passes away, I do it like a little ritual thing, and I light a candle, I talk to them. This time, I sat and watched the sunset, and as the sun was setting and was literally going past the horizon, and the moon was coming up, I said goodbye. But I cried so hard that I was laughing because I was so depressed and anxious. My brain shit itself. It reminded me of like when Walter White was like yelling at Skylar, "Where's the money, Skylar?" I gave it to Ted. What? And he starts screaming and then laughing. Like that's what happened. And I was trying to get myself together, and I was really upset because this wasn't the first time, obviously, not even the second time, where someone committed suicide in my life. I've even had a friend that was on the phone with me wanting to, and I was trying to talk them down from doing it. That was back in 23 in May or June, and they had a gun to their head and stuff. And they were in a blackout. They were drinking. They're not supposed to be drinking. They get weird when they drink. They're alcoholic. They're supposed to be in a sober living, but they got out of a sober living because their boyfriend was out and they wanted to be out, and everything's a little blurry from there. But I remember trying to talk to an operator on the 911 call and trying to figure out where she was, and I don't know if she's alive anymore. There's no way for me to find out. But I mean, I checked the obituaries. There's a point to this, by the way. Obituaries, inmate stuff, all the thing, and I'm uploading. I'm socializing. I'm talking to friends. I was trying to find somebody to date too. I was trying to give relationships a second chance. I've been through a lot in relationships in general. I was at the point where I was scared of intimacy. I was scared of commitment because I just get hurt so bad, and I had a tendency to just sacrifice my health and happiness just to keep at peace with the partner I'm with at the time from flipping out or being upset. And that meant my emotions and stuff weren't always heard, even though they were valid. Looking for relationships. I'm trying to do these things, and I'm not sharing all this stuff I'm struggling with. Malpractice is another thing that I have been still recovering from, and it's affecting me still to this damn day. I have so much complex PTSD from dying that like I just struggle. Even if it's something simple like having an upset stomach, it triggers something. It makes me remember that I wasn't okay, and my brain does a thing where it's like, well, maybe you're dying again, instead of being like, no, you just have an upset stomach. No, you've been eating nonsense. Your body's just not doing well because of it. Things like that. If I have a headache, I immediately start remembering all these things I went through in malpractice. I had so many symptoms. So anyway, it's come to my attention that when videos on YouTube where it's like, I'll use Drifter as an example again. You know, he was he was my Call of Duty guy. He still is. He just doesn't really do much with the whole like the gunsmith stuff and all that, but he keeps me updated with still a lot of stuff. And I just love seeing the dude's face. I love that guy. Same thing with TV Maxwell. And when I see Drifter still moving forward and figuring things out and getting a hold on things and being debilitated at the same time, yet having his days where he's doing good and days where he's doing terrible, and just still talking to me as if, like, hey, I'm Drifter, I'm still doing the thing, you know, it's all right. Like, that's toughness on a profound scale. Asmongold is another person, and it just goes on and on where, like, there's things going on and he gets in front of the camera, Asmongold, Zach Rar, and he's talking about things that are so difficult, and he's putting words into his struggles. He's describing it. I'm struggling talking right now, but like he's amazing. A lot of these content creators, day to day, they're uploading from stuff, but when we catch a moment, a glimpse of like their life, and they share these things knowingly, that they're showing that they're bleeding, they show that they have weakness, and letting people that are bad have access to that and pick at them and fuck with them regardless. They are putting it out there because they know it helps us, they know it helps themselves, and it's respectable. So, with these content creators, I want you to take that and think about that. That you can always talk about what you're going through. You can always share what you're struggling with. You can tell us things that have happened in the past. You can do it with the friends and family that you have. You can do it in front of a camera if you want, or in the comments. Go ahead and do that here if you feel like it, man, because it's it's something that we should always be willing to do on some level, not just for ourselves, but those that need to hear that you are struggling too with your things. Because I remember, and I still feel this way, when I am not doing okay, and I'm not doing okay more times than not, I feel alone and I feel envious of people. I don't know if that's relatable to you, viewer, but to me, I dealt with that a lot. Like, man, that looks so fun. That looks so exciting to do, and I can't do that. I used to, or I could at one point. They're just chilling. Pay Money Webby is making a video. He's doing a live stream, and they're laughing and stuff, and all that. That looks a lot of fun. But if Webby didn't share the things he struggles with, that envious would be amplified. But he does share his stuff. A lot of creators do, and you should too, because it helps me not be so. Oh, like the feeling of being isolated. It's not as strong. I don't feel alone. And there was a time in 23 and 24 where, before I found my wonderful girlfriend Chloe, where there were a lot of moments where, even if I was playing games with my friends and stuff like that, I felt like I was disconnected, and yet still there, all the same, doing things. Um, that's that's a lot for me to share. But if you're struggling and you're dealing with a lot of stuff, I want you to know, if you're feeling envious, that's normal. If you feel sad or depressed, you feel broken and stuff, I know that feeling. And today it's not too bad for me. But yesterday was. The past 4 days have been terrible. Honestly, since I moved into my new home, which was very depressing, because the old home wasn't just sold because, hey, we found a new place and stuff. It was because we couldn't live there. We couldn't financially support ourselves, and so fucking lost it, right? Some people have told me, like, it's growth, it's good, and it's emotions you've been through, and I feel that way. Yeah, it's growth, but I hope I'm making sense here. But it's growth, but it also feels like an amputation, because, and I know people can relate to this on some level, where something in your life was just severed because of you, even though it's something that is yours or something that is whatever it is, you can't afford it anymore, and a home, that's a tough one, that's a thick one, right? um I love that home. It it was the it was the place I grew up. I was 6 when I moved in, and I'm 32 now, and I just moved 2 or 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and it was tough. And Zero, shout out to him, and shout out to my girlfriend and family too. But um, they all helped me get my stuff over to my new home. But it was weird once I was done moving, and I realized I couldn't go back to that house anymore. I was like unable to recharge, unable to relax. A lot of my struggles of malpractice started where I am living now. Um, I live with family in this home with my family. I was in here when that malpractice started. And funny thing about malpractice for me and a lot of people, um, is that you don't know what's happening uh, until later. I didn't really realize I was getting fucked over by doctors and stuff. Malpractice is essentially, for those that don't understand what that is, it's when you're seeking uh, a doctor or anything that's licensed, or a professional of mental health, or um, whatever it is, medical stuff. Okay, it's when they're doing things with you, but they are not okay to do to you. That's the most simple way. Um, Profound consequences in that. If you fuck up somebody as you're treating them for something, you could do irreversible fucking damage. That's why we go to fucking school for this shit. That's why people are supposed to go to school and yada yada. You get the point. So, I didn't realize that the people that I was trusting weren't worthy of trust. Um, they were so confident that they knew what they were doing, but in the end, they destroyed me. And I'm still recovering. I don't know if I'm gonna ever be where I was before I met them. Basically, I went somewhere because I was having trouble sleeping. Because my mom ended up in the hospital. She was attacked, and she was not responding to me. Um, I just found her like that, and it was a very dark moment in my life. And if it wasn't for me realizing my mother wasn't okay, I don't know what would have happened. The doctor said I saved her life. So it was traumatic. And I don't talk about that shit. I shouldn't even share that much. But the point is that I just needed some help with my sleep, because after 2 weeks after that, funny thing happened. I was sleeping fine, but then I wasn't. So that's going back to Asmongold, when he was struggling with sleep, and he would kind of wake up and think that he heard his mom scream when she wasn't, and he would sleep for 3 hours or something. That was my life too, right? And I just needed some help. If I could have done anything different, it would have been, whoa, 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 whoa. When I went to go get help, the people I was talking to, why are you putting me on 8 pills here? Hey, um, because later I found out that there's a thing called hydroxyzine. There's two types, but one of them is uh, it helps with insomnia that's induced by anxiety. So, yeah. And after a few weeks of just doing that, after getting off things, I was sleeping okay. Anyway, the point is that I was misdiagnosed, and all this shit happened to me. And they overdosed me. They were very fucking mean, and they said weird shit to me when I told them like this medicine isn't doing it for me. Basically, my body was revolting and spazzing, and clearly it was. And my mother was really concerned, so I was supposed to talk to this nurse practitioner, and she said the devil's trying to get you from taking this medication that's going to help you. You're going to have to push them out of your mind. And mom was there in this call with me because it was a virtual call. They tend to want to do that, by the way, instead of just seeing me in person at the time. I hate this place. I don't go there anymore. And it wasn't even a religious place. It's just the people just self-insert. They don't give a damn at times. Very unprofessional. My mom was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So and so, you have to understand that this is really wrecking him. Okay. So anyway, I found a neurologist and he saved my life. Pretty simple. Right? I started talking to a neurologist because my body was shitting itself. And I went to a urologist too. I was having kidney problems. I was having liver problems. I was having problems. I went to the cardiovascular doctor. I forget what that's called. The point is that I got myself checked out and stuff, and a lot of medications I was on, you're not even supposed to be on for so long, because they can do damage to your cardiovascular system. If you know Dr. K, the healthy gamer, he's mentioned olanzapine, things like that, where it attacks the cardiovascular system, whatever. So, I got off things, and it takes about 3 years or more for your body to have normal transmitters, neuron transmitters, a normal nervous system. So, very, very isolating. Imagine me socializing with my friends, and I'm unable to really even have a conversation for years. I felt like I was in prison. I couldn't watch TV because my brain was so fucked up, it would make me hallucinate, which I never dealt with. I can't believe it. At 30 years old, I'm experiencing things that are just unworldly. Like, it was terrible. To tell you that since I couldn't watch TV without freaking out, I remember watching Minecraft, PewDiePie playing Minecraft. There was like one of his old videos and stuff. I just wanted to put something soothing on because I wasn't doing okay, and I still didn't know why, right? I just kept telling myself, well, at least I got these people. They're gonna figure out what's wrong with me. Really weird it's happening. But it would freak me out watching him play, and it would make me cry hysterically too because I'm like, he's having fun and I can't. Diablo 4 just came out. Final Fantasy 16 just came out at that point, and that was when I was like freaking out, and I couldn't even play my games. I couldn't enjoy Diablo 4 at the time. I couldn't do fucking shit. Okay, so I still made videos. In fact, I made a lot of funny videos too. And if it wasn't for Zero, I don't think I could have made those videos. Having a friend and just playing a game with them and uploading and stuff. It's life is like a team player thing. Like, we should be together. We should do things, and it helps. So if you do struggle, I would also let you know, a little side thing here. Just do stuff with a friend. Like, even if it's one friend, and it's gaming. Like, that's what helped me. Anyway, so it's just like I'm struggling, and I talked to my friends, and it was difficult. It was because it was hard for them to understand. And after about a year, they were like, you know, wow, he's still doing that, like he's still struggling and all that, because it took me a while to realize the people were the problem. And now I see better people, and they've been taking care of me. In fact, I'm gonna see them tomorrow, thankfully. They're just gonna check on me and stuff like that. You know, psychiatry, right? Sleep is better and all that too, but flashbacks and all that, having friends at that point in my life, they get to a point where like they don't know what to do, so they don't see you as much. There are only a few friends that still consistently talk to me. The other ones just I guess, felt bad or something. And I know you probably have, chances are someone's listening to this, and maybe it's you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Um, and coming out from the other side, if it wasn't for videos like Drifter or TV Maxwell sharing things, those videos aren't there. There's one video still there, but if it wasn't for um, Zach Rar, if it wasn't for White Boy 7th Street, I even talked to White Boy 7th Street. I talked to Swifty about things, just in chat in a live stream. I got some attention from people I've been watching since I was like 19. Um, talking to these streamers or YouTubers that mean a lot to me, and they gave me some time. I talked to Damon Fizzy, D Fizzy, as well. In the moment, I know that I'm just another person talking to them, but there were a few moments where um, it was like for at least 10 to 12 minutes, everybody's talking to me, not just the streamer, but the chat, and we're all talking about all this stuff. And it helped. It helped a lot. So don't be afraid to do that too. If it seems like the chat in a stream or something is a little slower or something, maybe that's, if you like them a lot, and if it's somebody you think might have a perspective, you can tell them a little bit about, hey, I'm doing this or dealing with this, any of this, like when I was talking to Swifty. I was like, dude, I lost I think it was like I was at like 310 or something, and I got down to 220 something at the time. And he was like so proud, and he was like, holy shit. But I was asking him, I'm tired all the time and stuff. I have a hard time telling myself to slow down, because I found exercise is the only really outlet that I had. Because when you get off things that aren't good for you, you're going through a lot of withdrawal. And it's like if you can give your brain more oxygen and stuff, you have a better chance at feeling normal in that moment of riding my bicycle is my thing, but whatever yours would be. Anyway, it was really cool. That's besides the point. It was just, these are things that I just want you to know what I did, but also you're not alone. And if you are doing good and stuff, man, that's awesome. And I mean that because when I look at people like you that are doing good and stuff, it reminds me to keep going. Those hard ass motherfuckers, whether they're struggling or not, thank you for existing. Um, and lastly, back to suicide and stuff, I want to say this too. Um, I wish that my brother and my cousin, they they knew that like I fought those feelings too. Boy, oh boy, I can tell you for a fact that I wanted to die. I did, but not in a truest aspect. It was just my brain was telling me that the outcome is futile in a perspective where I'm not going to be okay. Like the suffering is too great, and I don't see the light. Right? I don't see good results in the future. I see that I'm stuck like this for an eternity, like I'm in some kind of Silent Hill. Truth is that wasn't the case. And I fought those feelings so my brother and my cousin wouldn't feel the way that they made me feel. And I want you to sit with that, because those that are thinking of that, I want you to have my perspective here. Fight for those feelings. Fight those thoughts. Fight wanting to die, so they don't have to feel the way I'm feeling about my brother and cousin, because I fought for them. I fought for everybody. I hope that makes sense. It's good to leave a video at the end of the video with something like that. Think about that. So keep going and fight for your loved ones. Have dreams of finding someone if you haven't. Do the things that you need to do. And don't doubt yourself. If you feel like something's wrong, lean into that, right? And find someone that can actually help you. I'm Short TV Gamer, Short TV Gamer. I'll see you on the next video. See ya.